Happy day, friends, and welcome to those of you who are new here. I am Macy LaShawn Sledge, and there are quite a few of you that are new to the channel, and so I just want to say hello. Again, I'm Macy LaShawn Sledge, and the purpose and my being here and showing up on this channel is to encourage, uplift, and empower those of you who are here present with me. And so I thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful to you for being here. I'm grateful to you. If you are here, then I have no doubt in my mind that you are doing the work in your life. You are doing what you can to heal emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, in all the ways, because you desire to live a more evolved and elevated life. And so I'm thankful to you for doing that work, and I'm grateful to you for being here and for engaging with what it is that I share here. So the conversation for this, the topic for this conversation is God is generating the change through you. Okay? God is generating the change through you. That is the topic for this conversation. All right? And so we're going to start as we sometimes do. Sometimes I forget, but I'm remembering this time. So we're going to start by connecting with our breath to help us center ourselves and ground into this present moment so that we can be open and receptive and available to what it is that God has for us, to what it is that our spirits have for us through this conversation. So go ahead, and if you're able to, close your eyes. Maybe rest your hands in your lap or place one hand on your heart. We're just going to take a few deep breaths, and I'll guide us. Go ahead and just begin to notice the stillness, the quiet that is all around you. Begin to notice the energy that is present around you and within you. Begin to observe your breath as you are breathing gentle inhales and exhaling gently out through your nose. Begin to just witness and observe yourself. Begin to notice the stillness that you are cultivating within yourself as you intentionally tune into this present moment. God is generating the change through you. We'll take a deep breath in through our nose and blow the breath out through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Blow the breath out through your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. And blow the breath out. Deep breath in. And blow the breath out. Return back to your normal breathing pattern. Leave your eyes closed for just a few more seconds and just observe and notice and witness. God is generating the change through you. Begin to open your eyes, coming back into this space that you're in. God is generating the change through you. God is generating the change through you. So the first thing that I'm hearing that wants to be shared is this: God is asking you to let go of the belief, okay? God is asking you to let go of the belief that you are in control of creating the change in your life. Okay? God is wanting you to let go of the idea, to let go of the belief that you are in control of creating change in your life. Okay? God wants you to be a willing participant in the unfolding of change, of this change that He is generating through you. Okay? God wants you to be a willing participant. God does not want you to force the change, because oftentimes whenever we look at our lives and we question what is happening in our lives and we judge what our life is, oftentimes we'll go into this mode to where we tell ourselves that something needs to change immediately, and we'll begin to run around like chickens with our heads cut off because we're trying to create this change according to our own doing, okay? And God is saying, let go of that thought, let go of that idea that you can actually create the change, okay? That in your desperation, because oftentimes that's what it is, that's causing us to force change in our lives, is our desperation, the desperation to leave behind what we are judging, okay? And so in that, instead of judging your life, instead of embodying this desperate disposition, okay, it's time for you to embody a more grateful disposition, okay? It's time for you to embody a more grateful disposition. And embodying a grateful disposition, which is an internal state of being, an internal state, a mental state, right? In order to embody this grateful, or in order for this change that is being generated through you, in order for that change to flow through, embodying a grateful disposition is very important. Okay, dwelling within this state of gratitude is important because it keeps your mind focused. Okay, it keeps your mind focused on the truth. Okay, it keeps your mind focused on the truth instead of keeping your mind focused on what is temporary. Okay, the hardships, the disappointments, the things that we look at and that we judge and that we are so desperate to change, all of that is temporary. Okay, all of that is temporary. There's a verse in the Bible where Jesus says, in the world you will experience trouble, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. Okay, and I am not necessarily referring to Jesus the Savior, okay, but this power that dwells within all things in our universe and in our world, this power that dwells within you, that created you, that lives within you, light goes off. This power that lives within you, that dwells within you, that is the essence of who you are, that power has overcome the world, the hardship, the chaos, okay? And your ability to embody a more grateful disposition will activate this change that is being generated through you. Okay, will activate this change, the unfolding, will activate the unfolding of this change that is flowing through you. Okay, so you're being asked to embody a more grateful disposition so that you can begin to access this change, so that you can begin to activate the unfolding of this change that God is generating through you. Okay, God is generating the change through you. And whenever you look at your life, whenever you look at the world through the eyes of judgment, you're unable to serve as a vessel for this change to flow through. Because that is what you are. You are a vessel. You are a tool. I like the word vessel much better, but however you want to word it, you are a vessel, you are a tool. Okay? That is being used by the essence of who you are, by your God essence, to generate change in your life, yes, and in the world as a whole. Okay? And it's important for us to remember that whenever it comes to this change being generated through us, a lot of the times why we get caught up in believing that change isn't occurring is because we want the change for selfish reasons. Okay? Again, like I was saying, the hardships, the disappointments, everything that you go through that you want to see change, all of that is temporary. And you, this character that you are, that is this body, this character that you are, who you are in this world today, is also temporary. So when you pray for change, okay, when you are praying for something to change, are you praying for the material aspects of your life to change, or are you recognizing and noticing within yourself the patterns, the narratives that are feeding into, or that are reflecting what you are experiencing in the material world? Okay, that is what will help to make the difference, is whenever you begin to let go of praying for the material aspects to change, and you begin to tune in and you recognize and you identify what it is, the narratives, the patterns that you are living, okay, the belief systems that you are holding on to. When you identify what those things are, you can pray for those to change. As your mental, emotional narrative begins to change, that will begin to reflect outwardly. Okay, and it's important, I'm hearing it's important for me to note here too, that in that process, patience is key. Okay, patience is key. Practicing temperance, okay, it may even be more of, I'm looking up a definition real quick. It may even be that, yes, that you need to practice patience. We're just going to leave that right there where we had it, okay? But patience is key, because again, God is moving. There is something happening in the background, okay? And you may not be able to see it. You may not be able to see it. But the essence of who you are sees it. The essence of who you are knows. The essence of who you are believes, can feel, okay? And so as you're moving throughout the next few days after you watch this, I want to encourage you to spend some time in solitude, okay? It doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. That's not what solitude means. Solitude means giving yourself the time and space to be still, to listen to your inner voice, to listen to God's guidance, okay? Also, over these next few days, you may begin to integrate daily prayer. Okay? Daily prayer. And I want to note something about that. Whenever it comes to praying, again, are you just praying for the material aspects of your life to change? Or are you going a little bit deeper and are you saying, God, help me change this pattern? Show me what patterns I am holding on to within my body that I need to let go of. Show me what narratives I am repeating that I need to let go of, okay? Also, when you're integrating this daily prayer time, it will be important for you to ask questions, okay? God, how do you want me to be available in this now moment? What do you want me to be available for? What do you want me to be available to? What changes are you generating through me? Ask for the clarity. Ask God to show you what changes are you generating through me. So that then once you receive what it is, you can be an even more willing participant and vessel in the change flowing through you. And then if you're integrating, okay, if you're taking out the time to cultivate this stillness, to take out the space, to be in solitude with yourself and integrating this prayer time, know that if you can't think of questions immediately, know that if you can't think of anything to pray, know that simply saying thank you, okay? Know that saying thank you, just praying the words, whispering, uttering the words thank you, know that that is enough, okay? Know that that is enough. And that taking out the time to spend time in prayer and simply just saying thank you will help, that goes back to what I was saying you're being asked to embody, and that's a more grateful disposition that will help you ground into that grateful disposition, that will help you ground into a more grateful state of being, okay? Because the reality is, in that moment when you're just simply praying and you're just saying thank you, then your spirit is able to show you, your spirit is able to remind you that you still have breath in your lungs. And this breath is your life force energy. And this breath in your lungs is enough. Is enough to help you ground into that grateful state of being. Even if everything else was taken away, you still have this breath in your body, this life force energy flowing throughout your body. And if you still have the breath, the very breath that you're breathing, if you still have access to that, if that life force energy is still breathing through you, then that is all the sign that you need that God is generating the change through you. That is all the sign that you need. That is all the proof that you need. Your life, your very existence is all the proof that you need that God is generating the change through you. Okay? It's important to remember to stay open. Okay, to stay open. And the reason why, what I wrote in my notes, the reason why it's important for me to mention to stay open is because a lot of shit happens in our lives in the past, okay? And when things happen, okay, whenever we experience trauma, whenever we experience pain, whenever we experience disappointments, whenever we experience tragedy, okay, those things shut us down. Those things shut us down. Those things cause us, okay, to shut down, to close ourselves off, to build walls. Okay. And so in order for this change that God is generating through you, in order for this change to unfold, it's important for you to let your guard down. It's important for you to let go of the walls. It's important for you to embody a state of openness. It is important for you to forgive the past so that you can move forward, so that you can serve, so that you can be a willing participant, a willing vessel in the unfolding of this change that is that is being generated through you. As soon as you open up, as soon as you knock down the walls, as soon as you forgive the past, you will, I always say, change, healing, and change is instantaneous. That is something that I say to people I work with all the time. Healing and change is instantaneous. Once you open yourself up to it, it's instantaneous. You'll begin to see little things changing, and then you'll begin to see bigger things changing. All because you opened yourself up. Okay? In our world, there's this narrative that our hearts can shut down, that our hearts can close. And that's not true. Your heart is always speaking to you. Your heart is always guiding you. Your heart, your spirit is always trying to get your attention. But your ego creates this mask and causes you to believe and think that your heart is what is shut down. Your heart has not shut down. Your heart is open. And the key is for you to tell your ego, not even to tell your ego, the key is for you to set your attention and your focus, and to turn your attention and your focus back to the essence of who you are. Okay? To turn your attention and your focus back towards the essence of who you are and away from, again, this temporary character that your ego has allowed you to believe is in control. This temporary character is not in control. The essence of who you are is in control. Okay? So in order for this change that is being generated through you, in order for it to flow through, in order for you to experience it in great and amazing ways, you need to embody a state of openness. You need to forgive the past. Okay, that is an important part of it. Okay, and then on the other side of that, all right, it's important for you to begin to integrate new thoughts. Okay, in order for this change that is being generated through you, in order for it to flow through freely, it's important for you to integrate new thoughts. Okay, and here's a question for you to ask yourself. Do the thoughts that I think, are the thoughts that I'm thinking, are the thoughts that I'm allowing to dictate my narrative, to dictate how I exist in the world? Are the thoughts that I'm allowing to dictate my attitude? Are the thoughts that I'm thinking that I'm allowing to dictate my attitude? Are these thoughts elevating me? Are they helping me to evolve? Or are they keeping me stuck in this cycle that I want to step out of? And something else that I say to people that I work with is that healing requires honesty. Okay? In your honesty, in being honest with yourself, you will experience healing. So when you ask yourself those questions, again, it requires the healing, the transformation will require you to be open and vulnerable with yourself. Okay, so journal. Those are some questions that you can sit down with, meditate over, and journal over this week. Okay? But in order for this change to be generated, that is being generated through you, in order for it to flow through, in order for it to unfold without any inhibitions, you will need to begin to integrate new thoughts. Okay? And I'm going to read a couple of. I was listening to a video a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, and in the video he shared Proverbs 21:5, and in it says, and it's just the beginning of the verse that I think is that he read, that I feel like is very important to this also. But it says, the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. And here's the key. You can be diligent in thinking empowering, encouraging, uplifting thoughts, and you can be diligent in thinking disempowering thoughts. Whichever side you're on, whichever side you're being diligent towards, those thoughts will tend only to plenteousness. So if you are thinking, for the most part, disempowering thoughts, then you will continue to experience disempowering experiences that will cause you to continue living in the cycle of feeling disempowered. But if you move towards thinking empowering, uplifting, encouraging thoughts, then those thoughts will tend only to more plentiful, empowering, uplifting, and encouraging experiences. Now, does that mean you won't experience trouble or heartache or pain? No, it just means that your process of moving through those experiences may go a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit smoother, may pass by a little bit more quickly than it did in the past. So the thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. And I think the last part is important too, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. So again, remember, you have to trust the process. You have to be patient with this process, because you are undoing lifetimes, generations of crap. You are working through, you are moving through, you are letting go generations of crap. Okay? And so if you're looking for this to happen quickly, if you're moving hastily, then you will continue to grasp and want, when really you already have access to the plenty. Okay? To the abundance, to the prosperity. Okay? And then also, to go along with this idea that you need to integrate new thoughts in order to allow this change that is being generated through you to unfold, okay? Is Proverbs 18:20 through 21. And usually we only hear people quote verse 21. But I'm going to read verse 22 because I think it's important. And it says, a man's stomach will be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth. He will be satisfied with the consequence of his words. Okay? Verse 21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it and indulge it will eat its fruit and bear the consequences of their fruits. So again, identifying, are the thoughts, the words that I'm speaking, my attitude, are all those things contributing to me living a more empowering, uplifting life? Or are my thoughts, the narratives that I'm repeating, the words that I'm speaking, are they contributing to me living a more disempowering life? Even when I'm in the midst of experiencing hardship, can I change my thoughts? Can I change the language, the words that I speak, so that because here's the thing, a lot of times we're waiting on the external things to change before we feel good, but you are in control of how you feel. And how you feel contributes greatly to what you to how you experience life. All right. Okay. And so it's taking more responsibility for how you feel. It's taking more responsibility for your well-being. It's just living a more loving and open life. Okay. And it's loving yourself deeper. You're making these changes. You're integrating new thoughts. You're integrating prayer time. You're embodying a more grateful disposition because you love yourself and because you want to experience great change and transformation. And you know that it's available to you. And so you're doing these things from a place of love. Okay, I think it's Eckhart Tolle. He says, disappointment is not a good starting point for change. Disappointment is not a good starting point for change. And I think I'm ad-libbing there a little bit, but that's the gist of what he's saying is disappointment is not a good starting point for change. But in the midst of what is disappointing you, can you cultivate within yourself this spirit of gratitude? Can you step into, can you ground into this state of gratitude so that the change can be generated from there? Okay. So God is generating the change through you. Okay. God is generating the change through you. And I also wrote in my notes under that, God is generating the change through you according to your faith. According to your faith. So something else that you may sit down with after, during the few days after you watch this is, where's my faith? Am I living a life of faith? Am I letting my faith, am I allowing my faith to guide me? Where's my faith? What is my faith like? Okay. God is generating the change through you. If you want, you can replace the word change with something else. God is generating the generational healing through you. God is generating wealth through you. God is generating the prosperity. God is generating the abundance through you. You can change whatever word you need to put in place of change. You can do that. God is generating what through you? What is God generating through you? God is generating expansion, the expansion through me. God is generating the evolution through me. God is generating the transformation through me. God is generating the healing through me. God is generating the peace through me. Whatever word fits for you in your life, put it there and sit with that. Repeat that. Remind yourself of that as you're moving throughout your day. All right? God is generating the change through you. Okay. I love you so much. As always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for doing the work, okay? Because as I always say, as you show up in your life and you do the work, you are creating change, not just for yourself, but you are creating change on behalf of the world. The world is benefiting from the work that you do. And I appreciate you for doing that. I appreciate you for showing up. All right. I appreciate you for being here with me. If you have any thoughts, if you have any questions, if you have anything, any reflections that may have come through, any realizations that you want to share, leave it in the comments, okay? If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I want to invite you to subscribe because, again, we are doing the work here. We are doing the work here because we know that, because we know who we are. We know who we are. All right. I'll see you next time.